Despite the fact that we are in a no man's land of sorts between the ending of Season 1 of The Wheel of Time and the announcement of Season 2's release date, the amount of news to talk about this week is actually pretty substantial. We've got comments on Season 1 from Brandon Sanderson, an interview from a Wheel of Time director, interviews with Kate Fleetwood, the actress that plays Leandrin, and a social media post that may have revealed 2 more cast members. And of course, there's a possible synopsis for Season 2 to talk about. Join me today as I discuss all of that and more on the weekly Wheel of Time news. So let's kick this off with a spoiler warning. Today's video will carry a spoiler rating of red, with major spoilers through Book 3 of The Wheel of Time, The Dragon Reborn, and through Season 1 of The Wheel of Time TV show. If you have not read up through Book 3, you might want to watch this after you have. It won't be huge spoilers, but there are going to be some. So this first story comes courtesy of WatchSeries.com, an excellent source of Wheel of Time show news and frequent guests on my Monday live show. Not long ago, WatchSeries.com interviewed Wheel of Time Season 1, Block 4 director Kieran Connolly, and it was a great interview. It's one you should definitely check out. I'm going to cover just a few pieces from his comments, but you should check out the full interview at WatchSeries.com. Now, the major piece I want to talk about was his answer to the trickiest scenes to film. Just so everyone is aware, Kieran was the director for Block 4, which means he directed episodes 7 and 8. It also means that he was the one in charge of filming the birth on Dragonmount and the ending of the show. Now, I would argue that he had some of the more difficult to adapt scenes in the story to deal with. Anyways, his answer to what were the trickiest scenes for him to film were that the Blight and the battle at the end were 2 of the toughest, primarily due to production challenges they faced in those 2 episodes. Now, most of this we already knew, but he talks about how both episodes needed rework, specifically the Blight scenes and the entire battle sequence at the end of the show. They were completely redone and fabricated from what they could work with, given all the changes that were forced upon them. Now, we'll talk more about this in a bit because we got some more information on those as well from Brandon Sanderson, but needless to say, he was professional and he stated that their production problems should not be noticed by fans, hopefully, regardless of how challenging they were to them to film. Now, unfortunately, I do think those production issues in the final episodes, specifically the last episode, were obvious and they did detract from the season, even if some of those factors were outside of their control. Now, another thing I did think was cool from his interview was when he asked about the scale of this production compared to his other projects. Kieran Donnelly is a famous television director with more than 20 different shows under his belt. His answer was that the Wheel of Time production was the largest that he had ever been a part of, even larger than his work on Altered Carbon and The Vikings. It's good to know that that's the case, even if the restrictions on the people that could be on the set and all the filming stuff, even without all of that, this was still the biggest thing he's ever been a part of. I just think that's kind of cool. Now we have a discussion on Brandon Sanderson's YouTube channel about the final episodes of The Wheel of Time and his thoughts on the season as a whole. Again, I am not going to cover all of the things he said here, so make sure to watch that discussion on his channel, but there are a few highlights I want to talk about. Just as with Kieran Connolly, Brandon talked about some of the challenges they faced at the end of the season and how significant they were to the production. He said that due to the COVID shutdowns, restrictions, Barney not returning, there were some significant problems they had to overcome just to finish what they did. For example, they could not do any crowd scenes or anything that required extras. This was absolutely evident in the battle scenes, and they felt really small in scale. They couldn't really populate Faldara except with CGI. They couldn't supply a lot of soldiers. They couldn't use all of the Trolloc extras, etc. Additionally, he said that multiple people could not return to film, implying that it was not just Barney, and that meant some shots were shot with CGI, with the actors not even being on set. There have been some rumors that seem to be supported by that statement, in that Daniel Henney was unable to make it back to shoot parts of the filming, hence his limited role in episode 8. And it's possible that some of his scenes were shot on a green screen and edited in. Again, all of this stuff we kind of already knew, but it helps give me a bit of grace on some of the production issues that they had in the final 2 episodes. Also, during Brandon's discussions, I found myself agreeing with him on his takes for the show for the most part. He said that he thought episode 1 needed about another 30 minutes to get the pacing right, something I wholeheartedly agree with. He mentioned that there were plenty of things from a writing perspective that he would have done differently in hindsight, or ways they could have tried to fix the endings given the challenges, but he didn't really even get to consult on the final episodes until after they were filmed due to some of those COVID problems. In general, I thought his commentary was really great to listen to, and I always enjoy hearing Brandon talk about the Wheel of Time, especially for his informed opinions on how to adapt the series. This past week, Kate Fleetwood, the actress that plays Leandrin on the show, gave a number of interviews to various creators in the Wheel of Time community. She was on the Dusty Wheel, the Black Tower podcast, and Dragonmount. First of all, I have seen almost universal acclaim for her performance as Leandrin, a character that is very much disliked in the books. She has played it so well that she's been a favorite of mine in the show. Now, I'm going to comment here on her Dusty Wheel interview, but you should absolutely check out her appearances on Dragonmount and the Black Tower podcast as well. My general thoughts on her interview was that she's really awesome. I know that's not much of a comment, but I really like her. She's just so thoughtful on how she approached the character, and you can certainly see the detail in her thinking about her work. In terms of what she said, she mentioned that she had not read the series before taking the part, but has become engrossed in it and has read through book 2 and uses the Wheel of Time companion often. She mentioned that we will be learning a lot more about her character in season 2, and she hinted at the fact that we will get an answer to who the man was in North Harbor, also in season 2. It sounds as though there's going to be a much expanded set of scenes in the White Tower, and I would kind of expect that with all the girls going to the White Tower to become novices. Now, another thing that came up this weekend was Madeline Madden's 25th birthday. She posted a video to her Instagram of her and a number of people from the cast out celebrating, and there were some interesting attendees at that party. Let me show you the video real quick, and then we will talk about it. So as you can see around the table, we have Zoe Robbins, who plays Nynaeve, then somebody I don't recognize here, then Daniel Henney, who plays Lan, Hamad Animashan, who plays Loyal, Yosha Stradowski, who plays Rand, Donal Finn, the new actor playing Matt Cawthon, and then another person I do not recognize, followed by another person I don't recognize, then Kira Coveney, who has been cast as Elaine for season 2. Now, the excitement here is that there are 3 people in this shot that we don't know, 2 of which are men sitting near Kira, who plays Elaine. This, of course, started speculation that they may be playing Gawain and Galad. So, is that the case? The unfortunate answer here is probably not. As the folks at WatchSeries.com have pointed out, specifically Ari and Sarah, the guy on the end is somebody in the crew that has been in photos before. It is not likely that Maddie would be posting videos of the cast, as she has been very, very careful in the past. So it would be very unlike her to post something unless this was deliberately staged and this is how they wanted to reveal them, which it does not appear to be that. So it is not likely that these are cast members. In fact, we know one of them is on the crew already. Hopefully, though, we will be finding out about those castings soon. Now, before moving to a possible leaked plot synopsis of Season 2, let me throw it over to a word from the video's sponsor. So I want to take a moment and tell you about this video's sponsor, Magic Spoon. This is a pretty cool sponsor to me because if you are not aware, I have very much got back into following the keto diet. Now, it's something that comes naturally to me, and I feel at my best when I've eliminated carbs from my diet, and I've set a goal to drop 70 pounds in 2022. I'm already down 10, and Magic Spoon is actually a part of that. You see, one of the things I miss when I'm doing keto is cereal, as most cereals are packed with sugars, and even the milk is full of carbs. That's where Magic Spoon comes in. Magic Spoon is an amazing, keto-friendly, gluten-free, soy-free, and low-carb cereal that tastes amazing. My favorite flavor is blueberry, and the berry flavor. I kind of like them both. But there are tons of other flavors, and they actually taste really good. Like, seriously, I've been snacking on this stuff and losing weight. Magic Spoon boasts 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. And there are also only 140 calories per serving as well. Whether you're doing keto or you just want to lower the amount of sugar that you or your kids are eating, Magic Spoon is worth a shot. It's also a great way to get yourself off to a good start with your health this year. And you can build your very own 4-pack of cereal boxes from Magic Spoon. Just head to their website and use the code Nae'Blis at checkout, and you will get a $5 discount on a 4-pack of boxes. You can also head to magicspoon.com Nae'Blis and get the same deal. Magic Spoon is also now shipping to Canada and the UK as well. So for all my Canadian fans and all you Brits out there, you can get in on the action. Thank you again to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this video. And let's get back to it. All right, let's hit the big and spicy piece of news, which comes in the form of a possible leaked Season 2 plot synopsis. Now, the leaked synopsis comes from a user in the Dusty Wheel Discord server that supposedly took part in a survey about the show and was shown this synopsis as a part of that survey. Now, let me go ahead and pop it up on the screen and we'll take a look. Now, the synopsis reads as follows. Season 1 tested our core characters and their relationships to each other along with their journey to the Eye of the World. It was a coming-of-age story in the most dramatic of circumstances. Season 2 will focus on the next stage of life, finding a place for yourself within the world. Every one of our characters will find themselves isolated from the others at some point in the season and forced to reckon with the darkest sides of themselves. While Season 1 of the Wheel of Time traversed geographic locations, Season 2 will be more grounded in unique locations for longer stretches of time. Following after Rand hiding in the cosmopolitan city of Falma as he tries to fight off madness, unpacking Moraine's life before she became the woman we have grown to know, and watching Egwene and Nynaeve traverse being novices within the politics of the White Tower. Season 2 introduces viewers to the Shan-Chan, who appeared on their ships in the final scene of Season 1, a group of people who are descendants from Arthur Hawkwing, the last man who challenged the female supremacy of the Aes Sedai. These followers have been instructed by their fallen Hawkwing to reclaim their fatherland and burn the White Tower to the ground. The Shan-Chan tear through resistance they encounter via leashed female channelers as weapons of war. Throughout the season, we will see all of our characters make their way to the first major city the Shan-Chan capture, leading up to what could only be a great battle. So, let me say that synopsis has been in no way verified and could be entirely fabricated. I have not confirmed this with the show team, so take all of this with a grain of salt. That being said, it does sound very plausible, and the way it's written does sound similar to a synopsis that would be released for the show. Whether there is truth to this leak or not, the idea that the Shan-Chan may invade another major city, and that is where a final battle will occur, does give me some ideas about how they could combine the endings of books 2 and 3. If Rand and the crew are at Falma already in the early parts of the season, and that final battle happens somewhere like Tyr, for example, that does tie together some of the plots. Needless to say, this is where some combination of events is going to have to happen, and that would make some sense given that they need to fit 15 books into an 8-season show. I love the idea of having stationary locations. I think that gives the show some more continuity, and it makes it actually seem more expensive when they're not just traipsing around in the wilderness. For example, we can get a lot more White Tower sets. They're going to make the White Tower feel a lot bigger. So what do you guys think of the synopsis for the season? Let me know in the comments of the video. I'd be anxious to see if you think this would be a good plot. All right, so let's talk about the contest. Last week's contest was to comment on the video with ideas for other lore videos I should make. I will say there were tons of really awesome answers. So awesome, in fact, that many of them I have already made. YouTube does not always do a great job of recommending to you the types of videos that you would like, so I figured I would point out a few of the videos that I have made in the past that many of you requested, so you can go watch them. First, many of you asked for videos on the Age of Legends. I have 2 of them, one about life during the Age of Legends, and the second one on its fall and collapse. I also have videos breaking down the culture of Shara and the Aiel. I have an entire cultural breakdown series that breaks down many of the cultures in the show, and I have some more coming out in that series. I also have a video on the history of Manetheren as well as the history of Malkir, with its rise and fall documented. I have a video on Jane Farstrider and his background, the Ogier race, and many other cool videos. Anyways, shameless self-promotion over now. It's time to announce the winner from last week. And the winner of the Tarval and Harbor Master t-shirt is Evil Monkey. Make sure to shoot me a message on Twitter or on Discord so I can get your info and send you out the shirt. And now for this week's contest. This one's going to be simple. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join the Tarvalon After Dark Discord server. So in case you're not aware, Tarvalon After Dark is the podcast that I am a part of. It's a comedy podcast with bits about the Wheel of Time, commercials that are Wheel of Time themed and ridiculous, and We also talk a lot about the Wheel of Time in pretty serious, in-depth discussions of both the TV show and the series. I think it's pretty dope. I partner up with Recapacidi from Wheel Talk and Jess the Amerlin Seat from the Amerlin Study. All you have to do to join this contest, though, is join that Discord server. That link is in the description of this video. And then leave a comment there that says, I came from Nae'Blis' video, or something like that in the welcome section, and I will pick a winner, and you will get a t-shirt of your choice from shopwheeloftime.com. So pretty simple. Go there in the little welcome section when you join the Discord. Just type, I came from Nae'Blis' video, and you're entered into the contest. I want to thank my patrons for supporting the channel. You all are the main reason I am still able to do this. Seriously, I could not do this without you. And I'm now using Patreon money to hire some writers for thegreatflight.com for even more content for you all. If you want to join these people on the screen right now and help support the channel and the website, check out the Patreon link in the description of the video. Also, if you want to see more Wheel of Time content, check out one of these two videos up on the screen right now. I bet you'll like them. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, peace out.